At the beginning of the story, we meet a physics professor named Jason. He lives with his wife, Daniela, and their son, Charlie. Jason is very happy with his family, but not satisfied with his job. One day, while heading to the university with Charlie, Jason receives a video call from his old friend, Ryan. Ryan shares exciting news that he is about to receive a big award and plans to throw a party at a bar near Jason's house. Ryan invites Jason to the celebration. Though Jason feels happy for his friend's success, he also feels sad about his own life. Before getting married, Jason was working on a device that could explain the theory of the multiverse. If he had continued that work, he might have received an award like Ryan. However, after marriage, he stopped his research and became a college professor, a job he dislikes because the students do not take his lectures seriously. Throughout the day, Jason keeps thinking about his lost dreams. When he gets home, he ignores Ryan's calls because he doesn't want to be reminded of his past and feel regretful. However, Daniela sees Ryan's messages on Jason's phone and sends him to the party. At the bar, Jason meets a bartender named Matt, an old acquaintance. Ryan is thrilled to see Jason and they reminisce about old times, which lifts Jason's spirits. They talk for a long time and it's clear that Ryan invited Jason to the party for a special reason. When the party ends, Ryan tells Jason that he wants to start his own neurotech company and needs Jason's help. He offers Jason double the money he currently earns. Jason asks for some time to think it over and leaves the party. On his way home, a masked man points a gun at Jason, stealing his phone and wallet. Jason assumes the man is a thief and complies, but the man doesn't leave. Instead, he forces Jason into a car and takes him to a warehouse-like place. At the warehouse, the masked man beats Jason severely, takes his clothes, gives him new ones, and then pushes him down some stairs before injecting him with something. Jason is confused and scared, not understanding who this man is or what he wants. The masked man tells Jason that even if he explained everything, Jason wouldn't believe him. The masked man tells him he will have new chance to live up to his dreams. Jason then loses consciousness from the injection. When Jason wakes up, he finds himself on a stretcher with doctors treating him. He briefly loses consciousness again, and when he wakes up, he is in a room. Jason is completely disoriented. Suddenly, a woman named Amanda enters, claiming to be his wife. Jason is shocked because his wife's name is Daniela. Amanda, thinking Jason might be confused, assumes he hasn't fully recovered yet. Amanda first hugs Jason and then introduces him to a man named Vince. Vince, who used to study with Jason in college, is very happy to see him. However, Vince now looks completely different. From Vince's words, Jason learns that he disappeared 1.5 years ago while conducting an experiment, and now he has just reappeared. Vince and several other employees who actually work under Vince and Jason are present. Jason tries to explain that he only disappeared a few hours ago and that he doesn't know Amanda or understand what's happening. Amanda thinks Jason needs rest after being gone for so long, so she asks everyone to stay calm. The lab employees take Jason and start to lead him somewhere, but Jason wants to go home. He escapes from the lab, quickly takes a taxi, and rushes to his house. When Jason arrives, he finds the house strange. Neither his wife, Daniela, nor his son Charlie are there. Instead, he finds Amanda, who asks why he left the lab. Jason is completely confused and realizes something is very wrong. It turns out Jason has come to another universe where everything is different. Meanwhile, we see Daniela in this other universe, who also has a husband named Jason. This other Jason was the masked man who robbed the original Jason and later returned to live with Daniela, pretending to be her husband. For clarity, we'll refer to the masked man as Jason 2. So, in this Universe 1, Jason 2 has taken the place of the original Jason, living his life with Daniela. The original Jason is now stuck in a Universe 2 where his wife is Amanda, and he has no idea how to get back. In Universe 1, Jason behaves very well with Daniela, so she doesn't suspect anything. They go to their room and become intimate. Meanwhile, in Universe 2, Jason is very worried and confused about what is happening. He asks Amanda about Daniela, which makes Amanda angry because Jason never behaved like this before. Jason starts examining everything in the house carefully and realizes that, in this world, he has won many awards that he wanted to win in his original world. Despite this discovery, Jason is still very confused and worried. Amanda, seeing his condition, calls the lab and some guards to take him there immediately. Realizing this, Jason runs away from home and goes to the same bar where he was invited to the party. There, he meets Matt, but Matt doesn't recognize him. This further disturbs Jason, so he goes to a hospital to get checked. In Universe 1, Jason 2 is trying to understand Jason 1's life thoroughly so that no one suspects him. It seems he has some hidden purpose for being there, which will be revealed later. At the hospital in Universe 2, Jason talks to a doctor and finds out that there is nothing wrong with his mind. However, the doctor discovers a strange chemical in his blood. which they haven't identified yet. This chemical is the same one Jason 2 injected into Jason 1 to make him unconscious. The doctor hasn't been able to figure out what the chemical is. Jason becomes more and more worried, not understanding how everything changed so quickly. After talking to the doctor, Jason learns that in this world, he is a very famous scientist with many patents to his name, but he disappeared 1.5 years ago and has only now reappeared. This information worries Jason even more, and he asks the doctor to help him find Daniela. Jason discovers that in this universe, he never married Daniela. Instead, Daniela is a famous painter whose artwork is well known and loved. Jason recalls that in his original universe, Daniela had given up painting long ago to take care of their family. Determined to speak with her, Jason finds Daniela's address and decides to visit her. Meanwhile, Vince, Amanda, and a security officer are discussing Jason's strange behavior. They are puzzled because they know 3 people have already disappeared during their experiment, and they don't want Jason to reveal anything about it. They decide they need to catch him as soon as possible to prevent any information from leaking. When Jason meets Daniela, he hugs her tightly, leaving her confused. In this universe, Daniela does not understand why Jason is acting this way towards her. As Jason looks around her studio, he sees that her paintings are all self-portraits of himself. Just then, Ryan arrives. Jason is shocked to see Ryan at Daniela's place. Ryan has changed a lot and is surprised to see Jason at the party, as Jason usually doesn't attend such events. When Jason and Ryan talk, it becomes clear that Jason 2 used to meet him often because he made special medicines for Jason 2. Jason realizes he can ask Ryan about those medicines to understand more about what's happening. Suddenly, Daniela arrives and they all start talking. In Universe 1, Jason 2's actions seem strange to Daniela, but Jason 2 manages to convince her, and her doubts are removed. Meanwhile, after the auction in Universe 2, Jason, Daniela, and Ryan sit together. Jason tries to explain the strange events that have been happening to him. He begins to realize that this may not be his universe. He tells Daniela and Ryan that in his universe, he was married to Daniela and they had a son named Charlie. They were very happy and had set their career goals to settle their family in that universe. Jason explains how much he misses his family and how different his life is in this universe. Daniela and Ryan listen intently, trying to make sense of his story. Jason's realization that he is in a different universe starts to sink in, but Daniela and Ryan could not fully believe Jason's story. In this universe, Jason had prioritized his career and ended all relationships with Daniela. However, Daniela remembered that Jason often talked about the multiverse, where even small changes could have significant impacts. Despite this, she remained skeptical about Jason's claims. Ryan leaves, but Jason asked Daniela to stay with him because he knew Vince's people were searching for him outside. After Ryan's departure, Daniela wants to know more about her life with Jason in his universe. Jason tells her everything about himself, his son Charlie, and how happily they live together. Daniela feels touched by his story and comes closer to Jason, leading to an intimate moment between them. Jason decides to take Daniela out of the house and calls Amanda, telling her that he is at hospital. He takes Daniela to his house and starts explaining everything to Daniela about his life in original universe. We learn that in this universe too, Daniela had an affair with Jason 2. When she became pregnant, Jason 2 left her because he wanted to complete his research. In contrast, in Universe 1, Jason didn't leave Daniela even though he knew that marrying her would hinder his research. This was the main reason Jason remained a professor, while Jason 2, who chose to reject Daniela, became a great scientist. Jason takes all the files from Jason 2's house, which were about the multiverse theory. Jason had also been working on this theory, but Jason 2 had continued the research and completed it. When they reach Daniela's house again, Jason starts reading the files. He discovers that Jason 2 not only solved the theories, but also created a box through which he could travel between different universes. Jason realizes that Jason 2 used the box to travel to his universe. However, he is puzzled about Jason 2's motives. If Jason 2 came because of Daniela, he would have killed Jason 1 to take his place, but instead, he kept Jason alive. Jason wonders why Jason 2 would want him to come to Universe 2. In Universe 1, Jason 2 goes to an abandoned building and checks a box that matches the description in the theory. He sets up some cameras there and after noting Charlie's date of birth, leaves. Meanwhile, in Universe 2, Daniela approaches Jason, but suddenly a security officer from Vince's company arrives and shoots Daniela, killing her instantly. The officer also captures Jason, making him a prisoner. Jason is devastated, watching Daniela die right before his eyes. Vince first apologizes to Jason for Daniela's death. From their conversation, Jason learns more about Vince's background. Vince's parents died when he was a child, and he was raised by his wealthy grandfather. After his grandfather's death, Vince inherited a lot of money. One day, Jason too approached Vince, promising to share knowledge about multiverse travel if Vince funded his research. Vince, eager to travel the multiverse and meet his parents, invested all his money into the project. Jason too then built the box, a device that allowed travel between universes. To test the box, Jason too sent 3 people through it, but none of them returned. After this, Jason too kept the box's operation a secret. About 1.5 years ago, Jason too himself entered the box without informing anyone and never came back. Since then, Vince has been searching for him. After learning all this, Jason realizes that Vince is desperate to learn how to travel in the multiverse. Jason understands that if Vince finds out he is not the Jason 2 of this universe, he will likely kill him. Therefore, Jason pretends to be Jason 2, acting as if he knows the secrets of multiverse travel. As Vince continues to explain, Jason carefully maintains his facade, gathering as much information as he can. Vince thinks that perhaps Jason 2's memory is gone, which is why Jason is behaving differently. He gives Jason access to Jason 2's computer files, hoping they will help Jason remember his past. Jason reads the documents and then examines the box carefully. At first, he doesn't understand how it works, but then he recalls the observer's theory. If an object is not observed, it behaves differently. However, Jason realizes that even inside the box, the human brain will continue to function and observe the surroundings, making it impossible to travel in the multiverse under normal conditions. To solve this, they would need a compound that temporarily shuts down the human brain. Jason checks the recordings from when Jason 2 traveled and when he himself arrived. He notices that when he arrived, he was very drunk. This leads him to understand that the drug Jason 2 used to make him unconscious was actually designed to shut down the mind, allowing multiverse travel. Jason starts to piece everything together but decides not to share his findings with Vince. He knows that if Vince finds out he is the Jason from another universe, Vince will kill him immediately. Jason pretends to still be confused and continues to read through Jason 2's files, looking for more clues while planning his next steps. A few days later, Vince calls Jason to him and reveals that he has learned a lot about Jason's true identity. Ryan, who was caught by Vince's men, helps confirm that Jason is from another universe. Vince's suspicions are validated by Jason's behavior changes. Furious, Vince beats Jason badly and gives him 2 days to figure out the box, threatening to kill him if he fails. In Universe 1, Jason 2 is trying hard to convince Daniela and Charlie that he is the real Jason, but their suspicions are growing. Daniela, unable to confront Jason 2 directly, starts talking to him, and Jason 2 manages to convince her once again that he is actually Jason. Back in Universe 2, Jason and Ryan are locked in the same room by Vince's men. Jason talks to Ryan and learns that Jason 2 used to have Ryan make many secret medicines. Among these was the compound capable of shutting down the brain temporarily, which allowed multiverse travel. There are still many vials of it in the lab. Jason starts thinking of a plan to steal the medicines, use the box, and return to his universe. However, many guards constantly watch over him. On the other hand, Amanda learns that Vince will kill Jason in 2 days. Despite not being from Jason's universe, she decides to help him. Amanda goes to Jason's room and takes him to the box. Suddenly, Vince and his men see them and try to catch them. Jason and Amanda manage to steal a suitcase with the medicine and enter the box. They inject the medicine and fall asleep. When Vince and his men check the box, they find it empty and become furious. Jason and Amanda wake up in a place with thousands of doors, each leading to different parallel universes. They don't know which door leads to Universe 1. Jason starts to worry because he desperately wants to reunite with his family. Amanda asks Jason how many doors there could be. Jason replies that even the smallest action can create infinite possibilities. This means that every moment a new possibility will be created, and from that, different parallel universes will be born. Amanda is very shocked by this realization, as it implies they might never find Jason's real universe. They decide to check different universes to see if any of them is the correct one. They step into the first universe and hear strange noises. When they go outside, they find no humans. The buildings are old, deserted, and about to collapse. Suddenly, a building in front of them starts falling, so they quickly return to the box. They have 48 injections left, each allowing them to travel to a universe for half an hour. Understanding this, Jason decides they will only briefly open the doors to see if they have reached the right universe. They open the second door and find a massive storm, so they shut it down immediately. The third door also reveals a universe where no humans are present. Meanwhile, Vince begins to understand the injections. He takes a box of injections and enters the box himself. Jason and Amanda continue opening doors to many universes. Amanda becomes very scared and starts running around in panic. Jason calms her down, explaining that running aimlessly won't help. He explains if they survive from Velocity Lab in one universe, they might be caught by guards in another. To stay alive, they need to find a universe with food and supplies before moving on. Amanda agrees, and they open another door, finding themselves in a version of the Velocity Lab. Amanda is shocked by the eerie silence. From a distance, they realize this is the universe where the guards caught her and killed her while making Jason a prisoner again. Amanda is terrified, but they manage to return to the door area safely. As they try to open other doors, they only find destruction and chaos. Amanda starts to despair, thinking they might be stuck forever. Jason, trying to keep their spirits up, reassures her that they need to keep looking for a universe that has what they need. Frustrated by their situation, Amanda impulsively opens a door and starts running outside. Jason chases after her to save her, but finds himself in a universe covered in ice. Amanda faints from the cold, and Jason immediately lifts her and carries her to a nearby house. Inside, he sets a fire using some wood, which helps Amanda recover. In the morning, Jason steps outside and discovers that the area is covered in 10 to 12 feet of ice, meaning their box is likely buried underneath. They have no idea where the box is. Jason, worried, returns to Amanda and explains the situation. Amanda, reflecting on her childhood, mentions that she used to visit Argentina with her dad, where they experienced similar icy conditions. She explains that when she opened the door, she was thinking about those times. Jason then recalls that when they were discussing the universe where the guards had caught him, they ended up in that universe right after opening the next door. After realizing that the doors are linked to their thoughts, Jason understands that their anxious minds have been directing them to desolate universes. If they keep calm while opening the doors, they might reach a universe where humans live comfortably. Remembering that electromagnetic fields do not work in these alternate realities, Jason takes out his compass and starts searching for the box. The compass shows suspicious activity, indicating the box's location. Jason and Amanda start digging, and after some hard work, they find the box. They are overjoyed to have found it. Meanwhile, Vince, who followed Amanda and Jason into the multiverse, ends up in many dangerous universes. He is severely injured and starts to panic. Back in Universe 1, Jason 2 is plotting a dangerous plan. About that, I will tell you in the second part. If this story gets many views, likes, and subscriptions, then I will continue the series, so please support and stay tuned. Thank you.